A brother was killed by the New York cops.
Oh, that is in itself is no surprise. That kind of happens all the time. But this particular case, it was caught on cell phone video, not just one, but on several different videos.
Now, I wonder if the cops, not realizing maybe it was on video, maybe they did because everyone got cell phones, because a lot of times they'll go in there and do a police report and it never matches up with the video.
Well, even in the video, if you've caught some of them that are out there floating around on the internet, you'll see that the police.
The who?
The new internet.
Right.
This is version 2. This is like internet 2.0. That's what I'm gonna call it, where people are putting what they see online, not just what you're wanting to see. And
right. The realness of video. It's not like police video from their cars where they can edit that shit while they're in their car.
Yeah, this is real. It's gritty like that.
Yeah, man. The brother, Eric Garner, was sitting there. Now, he was a big brother.
Yeah, it's like 400 pounds. He's a big dude now.
Yeah, I seen he got gut and everything. But what got me is this is the first time they didn't get a young brother. This was a man that was married with 2 kids, a family man. He got grown ass kids. You see his kids up there? They look like he looked like he raised his kids right. Right. What can they say? And then when they was arresting him, he put his hands up. Come on.
And this is the thing. This is something that I haven't found any resolution to. Is in the video, you hear people protesting the police treatment of him while it's going on, and they're saying things like, "The man didn't do nothing but stop a fight." He's trying to stop a fight. But in all the news media, all the coverage that we're hearing now, it's he was being arrested for selling cigarettes, loose cigarettes.
Damn, this man was arrested for loose cigarettes at that. They don't just say cigarettes. Like, they didn't say like he went in the store, stole a pack of cigarettes and came outside and started selling them. What, is it generic cigarettes or something?
He just had some cigarettes. So who knows? Who knows where they got it from? But they trying to say that it was because they were untaxed, that it was illegal.
Damn, taxes in New York is real serious, boy. They ain't playing, man. They take a motherfucking life over that shit.
Dude, come on now. You heard all them, I'm from the South. And we got all those.
I thought you didn't know that? North. But go ahead.
Oh, you can't hear that I'm from the South when you hear all this?
I can hear it loud and clear.
All right, now I'm going to tell you. Now, we was raised watching Bo and Luke Duke, them good old boys, them Dukes of Hazzard. And what was they doing? Running moonshine. Running liquor, and hiding from the revenuers. In other words, they were selling untaxed, illegal alcohol.
Now, you bring up a good point. Because that's what white people.
But they heroes.
Yeah, that's what white people in this country don't understand with the different treatment. These brothers are getting killed for routine stuff that y'all do every day. When I was in college, I remember when we was in a car one time and the police pulled us over, and I was with some of my college roommates who are white or whatever, right? Police pulled us over. They didn't have no reason to pull us over. They just pulled us over as like, right? I was the only brother. They pulled us over. My roommate started cussing their ass out. Fuck you. Why you pulling us over, dude? Motherfucker. Why you pulling us over, dude? All they said to him was, shut up, young man.
Oh, you mean they ain't say have a good night?
Come on, because
if you had been driving, they'd have smashed the window in and drug you out.
That's why I don't drive. Everybody was saying, well, that's what happens when you resist arrest. That's what happens when you resist arrest. You better listen to the police. Punk ass Charles Barkley. But we're going to get to him later. But punk.
We'll talk about that round mound pound of. That round mound pound. Fuck a rebound. He's just a round mound pound of.
Okay. Always coming in with his 1.5 cent and shit, giving some kind of political view or something. But, just bullshit, man. I don't understand that. So, but anyway. The man, when the police, it was like, took 5 of them to take him down.
And it really didn't. The man was 400 pounds and an asthmatic. It wasn't like he was 400 pounds of muscle. This was a big dude. Yeah, he was not finna run away.
He was breathing hard, just telling you, don't touch me.
I can't breathe.
I mean, he was already breathing hard. I was like, dude.
I was looking at that and I'm like, that's the equivalent of waterboarding.
And then you're going to just jump on his back and choke him? And he's going to say, no, that's just a regular takedown. For a big motherfucker like that?
That was not.
And did you see this other video where he was already dead and they was like poking him and shit to see if he was alive and shit? It's crazy.
And over some what? Some cigarettes.
And this what gets me about the media. You know, we got to throw the media in there.
Because they're the ringleaders. Go ahead.
Now, there are stories when the police abuse, kill really innocent young black men, college students or whatever, black woman or whatever. That never becomes a big story. Like that one black woman who got killed up in Washington. That don't become a big story. It always becomes a big story when they can portray some kind of criminal element. But so this is the first time in a while that even though it was a little criminal element, he wasn't stealing. He was just he was saying, I'm minding my own business. Y'all keep harassing me. This probably was in front of some Arab stores or some Korean stores or whatever, and they had been complaining about him messing with their business, and they all protected. They all under the American protection because America's rich man want to be overseas taking over shit, so they want to treat immigrants in this country a little bit better so they can send a message that America's okay.
Certain immigrants.
Yeah, not the ones who was forced here, not those immigrants.
Not those immigrants. Not even the immigrants that's over there selling flowers and oranges. They don't get help, but they don't. At least they don't get protected. You know, they don't get
shot though. How come it's always young police officers? You don't never see no old police officers in these stories. So what did I tell you? Machismo. Yes. Remember that movie, Rocky? Remember Rocky? Yeah, he beat up. Remember Eddie Murphy did a little comic strip on that. He was like,
in Raw.
Yeah. It went to their head like, yeah, I'm gonna mess this big brother up. You know, they went to their head. Or that movie Colors. Remember that Colors?
That's what I was thinking about.
Sean Penn, Pac-Man, the young cop. Remember the young cop?
Yeah, I remember.
They got all that machismo. Come on, man. How you just gonna sit here and jump on this man back? He had his hands in the air. Even when they got him on the ground, did you see the one cop with the jersey on it? Down. He had his hand pushing. See, I was abused by cops. See this scar right here? They had pushed me in the ground. Yes, they had pushed me in the ground, but that was when I was in college, and I never really protested it or anything. That's just a normal black man scar. See, when you see a black man with some scars on his face, it came from y'all tax paying.
See, they look at them scars and think it came from some angry black woman. But,
why shouldn't they think that? But see, my whole point is here though too. Let me say this about what I'm not liking about a lot of this. Why do the media keep bringing these stories up? And you know why? Because they want racial tension. Every time the economy get bad, they got to force some kind of racial tension on us. That's how the powerful man work. If the economy bad, because he want to keep poor whites, working class whites, he's scared of them.
And if you don't,
so he got to give them a reason to be afraid of something else. So he portrayed black crime. So when I see stuff like this, I get more mad at the black people who work in Hollywood who play criminals, these rappers who portrayed criminals, and this thug, all that thug. I know I keep bringing that up, but that stuff just, they don't understand how that contributed to the psyche of America.
No, I'm going to sit here and play devil's advocate for a second with you.
Well, do that.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Devil.
Hey, give me my horn back. You know, I agree. I agree with, they're contributors to this, and you should stop and look at a role before you jump into it and all of this. However, what is the difference between a black person playing a role that is fiction or rapping a song that is fiction versus reading a mystery novel or watching Law and Order? We see some really twisted things come out of Hollywood in terms of movies like Saw. One particular writer I particularly like, a mystery writer, James Patterson, writes some pretty twisted things. They're bad guys do in all of the Alex Cross books. But everybody looks at that, oh, it's just fiction. It's just entertainment. Yet when these black actors do it, even though they're making the same money as the Wachowski brothers or whatever, they're depicting the real life in the community. They're keeping it real. It's not keeping it real. It's keeping it fiction.
Well, because a lot of times the brothers who work in Hollywood, they really don't understand how they're just basic puppets. For example, take the show Good Times. Those were all great actors and actresses. But they didn't have to be in the projects. A matter of fact, when that show was being aired, most of the black people in America was living in rural areas in the South, or even if you go to Chicago, they was living in those row houses in Chicago. They wasn't all living. There was like 5% of black people in Chicago living in the projects, but yet they portrayed that image, and it was done for a reason coming up to today. So you can push that image of crime, the criminal element, all the time. For example, there was a brother. I said there was a brother, right? No. There was
three guys walk into a bar.
I called him a brother because he went straight from high school to the NBA. He's a white guy named Robert Smith. Came from trailer parks in Bakersfield, California. Just a rugged. His mama was a meth addict. His daddy is in prison, but he went to the pros, like a typical black story, whatever, right? But the media never portrayed this dude, whatever, right? And so he just, go look this up, y'all, Robert Swift. He just got arrested. They found 15 guns on him and a grenade launcher. Did he get shot? Now, what do y'all really think would happen if a black man was sitting in his house with 15 guns and a grenade launcher? What do you think would happen?
And remember, this whole story started with a brother who had 5 cigarettes in his pocket and got his trachea busted.
A black man, that's what we try to explain to him. It's like we get killed over having Skittles and cigarettes.
Shit, that's legal.
Okay, and the white dude in front of the White House was sitting there with a AK-47. They still shot him in the knee. They didn't kill him. The dude in Alabama that kidnapped all them kids, remember that?
Had him down there in the bunker.
He had guns and bombs and shit.
Nothing.
And what can you tell me, America? What can you tell me? It's the portrayal of the media. For example, they've been showing Ferguson, right? Everything just went down to Ferguson, right? They showed all the negativity. They got dumbass Charles Barkley talking about, well, don't riot and loot it. Charles,
you know what? Charles Barkley can't say shit to me. You know when Charles Barkley can say something to me? When he go back and get his degree. Everybody looking at him like he got some
He still won't be able to say nothing to me.
I know. But everybody sitting there looking at him like his input matters. And
but you know why? But here's why.
He's still an uneducated
because he's
person.
A rich man's puppet. They know he gonna say shit to make white people feel good because he's got a white wife. I'm not saying that's why he's doing it, but we already know every time he open his mouth is to make America feel good. Like I see the same as y'all. You living in a big ass house in Arizona, punk.
He looked like he looked like Don Lemon with 100 pounds on him. I mean,
might be with him. Don't get me started. So my thing is, it comes down to this: perceptions and stereotypes. That's what it comes down to. White America has been conditioned to believe it's all about black crime. That's why you will have a Susan Smith. This woman drowned her kids and tried to say a black man did it.
And it was okay.
No one thought nothing of, like she could never be lying. Black people do that. Charles Stewart, he killed his pregnant wife. He killed his pregnant wife and said a black man did it. But no one thought anything of it because of stereotypes. And Bonnie Sweeten in Philly, she said a black man kidnapped her daughter. You know why she said that shit?
Because somebody will believe it.
She wanted to take her daughter to Disneyland. She didn't have the money to take her daughter to Disneyland, so she stole some money from her boss and created this big story and interjected some black man did some negativity to her, and everybody believed it. And then they didn't know until she just didn't show up for like one little police meeting. But like if she'd have showed up for that meeting and just lied, they would have still been looking for the black man who kidnapped her and they got away. She created this whole story where a black man kidnapped her and her daughter and she got away from the black man and everybody believed her.
And you know what? I need you to say them names again so everybody can Google this. Google it.
What Charles Stewart? I think a lot of people know about Charles Stewart. Everybody know about Susan Smith.
Everybody.
And then Bonnie Sweeten, and just to go to Disneyland, you create a story. But the whole point of it is every America has been conditioned to believe We the enemy. Blame the black man. Even right now, how many white people in America is going like, well, they're resisting arrest? How many doing that? They're not sitting there going like, when a man died. How many times the police roll up on a white person and you heard a white person cuss the motherfucking police out? Cuss them out.
Just like right now, one of the versions of protest on this whole thing is the criming while white hashtag, where various white people are tweeting about things that they've done that were criminal and what the response was. And I'm going to tell you, it hurt me because I have a family member who was murdered by a drunk driver who didn't spend any time in jail, who happened to be white. And he
killed a black man.
Well, vehicular homicide, basically, but he didn't spend a day.
If that would have been a black driver and killing the same situation, he would be locked up now.
Do you know why he got off? Do you know what the official legal reason was?
Because he killed a black man. He got rewarded for that shit.
The official reason on the records,
like the Ferguson cop killer, got
rewarded. It wasn't on public road. This drunk driver swerved off the road and hit a car at a gas station. What if he had pushed the car into the other gas pumps and blew up other people?
If that had been white, he would have got locked up.
But no, he just killed a black man and he got off with it. Now we're seeing these people in a form of protest. They're talking about the times that they were high, drunk, underage, high and drunk.
What's that again? What show is that?
It's on Twitter. They're hashtagging on criming while white.
Criming while white.
Criming while white. And saying how I got stopped and I cussed the police out. One of them cracked me up. He said he punched the police in the face. You know what the police did? They told him to have a good night and escorted him home safely. They didn't put him in a chokehold. So when you see Hollywood show movies like Training Day, when the white guy used the chokehold on the little crackheads that was trying to rape the girl, and he said, "Oh yeah, you using that unauthorized chokehold." He said, "Oh yeah, he's kicking my ass." So in the back of your mind, you thinking, "Oh, the only reason a cop would use a chokehold is because there's no other way out of this."
And we could see plain as day. Once brother hit the ground, once he was on the ground, he wasn't resisting arrest. He put one of his arms behind himself. Like he just let the one arm go.
And just let him have it.
Right. And he was saying, what we forgot the whole point of the thing that, well, the mainstream media make a big deal of it. He said he couldn't breathe like 15 times. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. Let me go. What do you do when you can't breathe but try to push off whatever's stopping you from breathing?
And then when he was dead, they was poking him while he was on the ground.
And do you know what Senator Peter King said? He wouldn't have died if he hadn't have been so obese.